Welcome back to Sugar with Tea. Today we're going to be having a little ADHD pep talk, and stick around because I'm going to give you a couple of tips that you can utilize to make life a little easier. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Okay guys, today we are going to have an ADHD pep talk. Now, I've said in a previous video that I am undiagnosed ADHD positive. And the reason why I'm undiagnosed is because I come from a generation where ADHD did not exist. So here's the pep talk for you. I realize that it may seem like my generation were able to handle their ADHD condition a little better, but that's not what it was. We didn't know that we had ADHD. And if you're not told that something is wrong with you, you don't believe that something is wrong with you. I think today that we are almost obsessed with labels, okay? We have to label a thing. And that may be good, but I think in this case, it's not so good, okay? And here's why. If someone tells you that you are handicapped, and you believe them, then you're going to be handicapped. The reason why we were able to function in my generation with ADHD and with some struggles is because we didn't know that we didn't have labels. We didn't know that anything was wrong. In my case, I knew where my shortcomings were, but I also knew the areas that I was strong in. So I just thought like everyone else, no one is great at everything. It doesn't exist. And if they are, it's because they worked at it. And that's what I did. That's what we did. You know, we didn't think, oh, there's something wrong with me. The thought was, okay, I need to work a little harder in this area. I was horrible at organizing. I was a procrastinator. All of the symptoms were there, but I just knew that there were some areas that I had to work in. If no one tells you that there is something wrong with you, then your mind will just perceive it as something that you need to work on. And I think that's why today ADHD seems like something is wrong with you. But I'm here to tell you, there is nothing wrong with you. There is absolutely, positively nothing wrong with you, okay? You just function differently from the person standing next to you. That's the only thing. Your mind just functions differently. And I'm here to tell you that everyone has this thing, okay? No one is great at everything. Think about it like the whole right brain, left brain thing. Most people who are good at math and science are not good at English and the arts. One of the areas comes easier to them than the other. So what do? You just work harder at the other. It just takes a little more time, a little more effort. And that's how we functioned in my day. We didn't know anything was quote unquote wrong with us. We just had to figure it out. I am here to tell you that there is nothing wrong with you. Now, I'm not saying, if you're someone who has been diagnosed with ADHD and you take Ritalin or some type of medication that actually helps you to function better, do not stop taking your medication, okay? Because that's a tool to help. But what I am telling you is that you should change your thinking. If you believe that something is wrong with you, then something will be wrong with you. That's the way the mind works. And that is why in my day, we functioned. We had to cope. We had to figure it out. We weren't told, hey, something's wrong with you. You have this condition that is keeping you from doing this thing. When you tell the mind that it can't do something and you believe it, you will have difficulty doing it because you believe that you can't. That's how the mind works. So I think that the whole label thing has its pros and cons. But again, because I want to drive this into your head, there is nothing wrong with you. You just think differently. And different doesn't mean wrong. It just means different. So now that we've had this little chat, I want to give you a couple of things that I did and still do to help me with my ADHD. It's a coping skill, okay? Number one, if you are on your job and you find yourself becoming fidgety and antsy, you need to become a smoker, okay? Become a smoker. What do I mean by that? No, I do not mean take up smoking. No, we're not doing that. But notice people who smoke around you. They take more breaks than anybody else. You will look up and they will be gone, okay? What I noticed is that most people do not take their 15-minute breaks. If you work at a business, you are usually entitled to one, either 30-minute, if you're in the medical field, a 30-minute break or a 1-hour break. And you are also entitled to two 15-minute breaks, okay? So why aren't you taking them? Most people don't, right? We get in, we may take a breakfast break, right? We eat our breakfast in the morning, and then after that, we don't take another break until it's lunchtime. And then we go back to work and we stay in that work mode until it's time to go home. That's why you need to become a smoker, okay? When you go into work, if your job starts at 9 o'clock, then by 9, 10, 11 o'clock or 10:30, you need to go and take a smoke break. Go and take a smoke break. If they ask you where you're going, jokingly say, I'm going to take a smoke break. And if you have a problem with that, then just tell them I'm going to the bathroom. No one needs to know what you do in those 15 minutes, okay? If you need to go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom. But on the way back, take a walk around the building. Go outside, get some fresh air. Get your blood circulating. This will help you tremendously, okay? Come back in. Don't go over your time because it's going to become a problem, okay? Come back in. Next thing you know, you work 2 hours and it's time to go on your lunch break, okay? You come back from your lunch break 2 hours later, take another 15-minute break. You have to do this. Why aren't we doing this? Most people do not take their 15-minute breaks. If you have ADHD, you need to utilize those breaks, okay? It helps. Trust me, trust me, trust me. It helps, okay? Utilize your breaks every day. Every day. Smokers do it. Why don't you? Okay. Number 2 is utilize apps. Something that I do is I make lists. Okay, you know that ADHD brain where you do this and then you get distracted and you move to this and you get distracted and you move to that and you wake up and you haven't completed anything. I have a coping skill for that. Okay, utilize the list on your phone. Okay, when I get up in the morning, I make a list. If I'm at my job and I have something to do, I make a list. And I also utilize my alarms. If I have things to do throughout the day, okay, if I have to clean, I have to do laundry, I will make a list. Go to the first thing on your list and set a timer. Set a timer, because what I found is that I will start to do things and I get distracted. Like I'll start, I don't know, cleaning up something, and then I think I might walk from one place to the other and think, oh, I have to do this too. And then I start doing that, then forgot about what I was doing in the other room. And that's how my day is going, and that's how I'm getting off track. But what I do is I make my list and I set a timer. I set a timer to go off every 30 minutes. And if my timer goes off and I haven't finished the first thing on my list, I go back to that thing on my list. Okay? I know this sounds crazy, but people with ADHD, y'all know what I'm talking about. This is a coping skill that works. Okay? I'm going to repeat it again. Make a list. Make a list. Set a timer for 30 minutes. Okay, when that timer goes off in 30 minutes and you are not in the place that you started and you have not finished that first thing on that list, go back to that thing. Set a timer for every 30 minutes until that list is complete. This is a great coping skill. These are the things that people from my generation had to figure out and learn to do in order to cope. Okay? We did not have any type of aid for ourselves. We had to figure it out. I'm happy that you guys have more options than we did, but I don't know. I still kind of feel like, if you never knew that something was wrong with you, would you be able to function differently? I know that I have a thing. I know that I'm not good at doing this and I'm not good at doing that. But I also know that I am great at a lot of other things. And in my mind, that's just a normal thing. No one is good at everything. And I didn't have a label telling me, hey, you know what? You're not good at that thing because you have something wrong with you. Again, I said in the beginning of the video, and I'm going to say it again. There is nothing wrong with you. Different is not wrong. Okay? So that was our pep talk and a couple of tips that I hope will help make life easier for you. Until next time.